Afternoon, folks. Take 155 of part two of my multi-part video series on why Chris Ohlsen for Godley ISD School Board, place 3. Recall Chris is running against Mr. Jeff Neal, and so I believe that Mr. Chris Ohlsen is the better candidate. Not that Jeff Neal is a bad candidate. No, it's not between the bad and the good. It's between the good and the better. The good being Jeff Neal and the better being Chris Ohlsen. Come out to 171 Food Row if you have an opportunity on Saturday, April 13th at 11 a.m. and meet Chris Ohlsen and meet the candidates who decide to show up. It's a candidate forum, so you can come there and ask everyone questions. I don't think Jeff Neal or Simone Mabry or Terry Goodlow will be there. I believe that I'm hearing anyway, and have read that they have scheduled something else during that time, so they won't be there. But you'll see Kathy Donica, I'm pretty sure. Maybe Stephanie Hodges, I'm not sure, for City Council. But you'll see Kathy, you'll see Nova Ohlsen, and you'll see Don Corley, and you should see Chris Ohlsen as well. So come on out. You'll have, the less candidates, the more you can ask the hard questions of these folks. Why should I vote for you? I think it's important for them to be able to tell you that, to be able to convince you of that. I think Chris Ohlsen will be able to. So I asked Chris to give me some endorsements because I thought endorsements, might be helpful to his run. And what I got were surprising. Okay, I figured you were going to have superintendents and staff of JISD, teachers, etc. Well, that's not what I got. What I got, folks, were it's not that I couldn't have gotten those. It's just he didn't want to give those because those folks, are interested, um, optics, right? He didn't want to use their names, etc. But what he did send me was surprising, and they're student endorsements. I got several of them, folks. It appears that Chris and his wife are committed to education in ways that I didn't know until now, and committed with their finances and their time. They're putting kids through college that aren't their own. Okay, Chris and his wife again are successful, um, and so he's living out his belief in education as a divine gift, and so I put together this to kind of describe what I think in him. As far as Chris has a commitment, right, to the idea of education as a concept in itself, it has intrinsic value. If you saw the interview I did with him, then Chris described education and the gaining of knowledge as a gift from above, a gift from heaven, and so that's his commitment to it. Is his belief, right, that this is a gift from heaven and it should be used appropriately. And the way that he does that is a dedication to making the concept of education successful in the world. He's dedicated to doing that, and how he does that is with his own is with executing those beliefs through his own self-sacrifice. All right. So I've got these. I'm not going to read all of the endorsements to you, but all of these are from the ones that I have are from kids that he has financially supported in the past and put them through college or partial college, and these kids aren't even his own, folks. So I'm going to read you one. If you looked at if you saw the either one of my posts in Godly Residents Talking or Godly Residents Talking Uncensored, Matt Delaney is one such student, and his mother commented. She came with um, glowing review of Chris. And so this is what Matt Delaney has to say. Mr. Ohlsen is passionate about furthering the education of kids not just in Joshua ISD, but in other areas. For example, Mr. Ohlsen has aided me through my collegiate endeavor by teaching hard work and investing financially. Investing financially. Without his dedication for over 2 years to me and my education, both of those, I wouldn't have been able to graduate from Texas Wesleyan University debt free. Without his dedication, I would not have been able to obtain my dream job at the Oklahoma Medical Research Foundation and allow me to conduct genetic research as a research tech. In addition, I would not have been able to buy a new car without Mr. Ohlsen's financial advice and contributions toward my tuitions. Mr. Ohlsen would be the perfect candidate to help anyone to invest in their kids' education. Matt Delaney. Now, I have several of these folks. One from Miss Emily Brunley, and another one from Rommel Quintana, who, when he wrote this, served on the Mayor's Protection Detail of the Fort Worth Police Department. He talks about Chris. And I have one from Stormy Ross, and this one's dated 2011. And Mr. Ohlsen helped me out with college over 2 years. Um, and, and she is, Mr. Ohlsen's the best candidate for this school board without a doubt. I'm assuming this was an endorsement for Joshua. The point being, folks, that Chris lives out the idea that he's talking about, which is education in very high regard, and he lives it out um, through his own pursuit of knowledge and the self-sacrifice of his time and his finances to kids, right? That he deems are worthy, and so now is the time. And it's getting close because it's April 10th and the election is May 4th. It's getting close to the time when candidates who don't have a platform begin to talk, or their followers begin to talk about why you should vote for the candidate. And often this seems to devolve into the good deeds of the candidate. Now, if you remember, I have a very good deeds don't make you good at anything else. All they do is make you good at good deeds. All right. And you should be lauded for your good deeds to the community, your sacrifice to the community. But simply from doing your good deeds doesn't make you any good at anything else. You're not going to be a surgeon because you did good deeds. And similarly, you're not going to be a good school board member because you did good deeds. It doesn't follow. And so I reject that kind of thing. But I've noted, and Jeff Neal, by the way, let me make this clear. Jeff Neal has not deployed the moral argument, the good deeds argument, and he may never have done it. But I noticed that some of his supporters are. They're starting to talk about Jeff and how what a sacrifice he makes for the community, for the children, showing pictures of him in the midst of thousands of kids, and that's wonderful. All of those things are laudable, folks, but they do not translate to being good at anything else. So, if you must have some sort of character reference and some sort of moral argument sways you, well, I think even now we have Chris Ohlsen's got a pretty good track record there with his own finances, right? He invests in kids and lives out his belief in the divine gift of education. So once again, come out and see Chris at 171 Food Row, April 13th, 11 a.m. See the rest of the candidates too. Chris Ohlsen for Godley ISD School Board. Not a matter of a bad candidate versus a good candidate, but this is a race between a good candidate, Jeff Neal, and the better candidate, Chris Ohlsen, for experience, for wisdom, for maturity, for dedication, right, to the idea, the concept of education, and the execution of that through self-sacrifice. So, Chris Ohlsen for place 3, Godley ISD, folks. And next, we'll come to you with the Jeff Neal's argument to stakeholders. That is the skin in the game argument, which I'm going to say that you should handily reject out of hand. I do. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.